Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something about men and love. A man doesn't truly fall for a woman just because she looks good, though sure, that might get his attention at first. What really captures his heart is admiration and respect. When a man feels that a woman sees the best in him, believes in his character, and respects who he is, that's when love starts to grow. When it comes to understanding how men truly fall in love, admiration and respect stand at the very heart of it. Physical attraction might catch a man's eye for a moment, but admiration is what captures his soul. A man wants to feel valued for who he is, not just for how he looks or what he owns. When a woman genuinely appreciates his character, his values, and the quiet efforts he makes each day, it lights a spark that goes far beyond surface attraction. Men are often raised to be providers and problem solvers, and while society places heavy expectations on them, deep down they still yearn for recognition of the person they are beyond those roles. When a woman recognizes his integrity, applauds his dedication to his work or family, and acknowledges his small victories, he begins to feel seen in a world that often overlooks those details. Admiration doesn't mean flattery or empty compliments. It comes from noticing the little things that make him unique. It might be the way he treats people with kindness, the patience he shows during challenging moments, or his quiet strength when life throws obstacles his way. When someone reflects those qualities back to him with genuine respect, he feels a rare sense of being understood. This feeling creates an emotional connection that can't be faked. Respect is equally important because it builds trust. A man falls in love when he knows his voice matters, when his opinions are heard, and when he doesn't have to prove his worth constantly. That respect allows him to let down his guard and share his deeper thoughts and feelings. Men also respond to admiration in the way they are encouraged to grow. When a woman believes in his potential and supports his ambitions without trying to change his core identity, he feels inspired to become an even better version of himself. That belief fuels his confidence and makes him want to protect and cherish the relationship. It's not about idolizing him or ignoring his flaws, but about recognizing his strengths and showing faith in his ability to overcome weaknesses. This dynamic creates a positive cycle. The more a man feels admired and respected, the more he invests emotionally, offering his own admiration and respect in return. He starts to share dreams and vulnerabilities, opening doors to intimacy that go beyond words. He sees the woman not just as a partner, but as someone who truly understands and values his essence. For many men, that sense of being deeply appreciated is the turning point where affection transforms into lasting love. Admiration and respect act like quiet forces that nurture the bond, proving that love for a man is not just about grand gestures, but about the steady, genuine recognition of who he is at his core. Emotional connection and trust form the backbone of how a man truly falls in love, because without that deeper bond, attraction remains fleeting. At the start of a relationship, excitement and chemistry might bring two people together, but it is the feeling of being emotionally safe that keeps a man's heart rooted. Trust is not built overnight. It grows through consistent honesty, reliability, and small acts of care that show both people can count on each other. A man begins to open up when he senses that his thoughts and feelings are valued, not judged. He might share stories from his past, his fears about the future, or even insecurities he hides from the world. And each time his openness is met with understanding rather than criticism, the emotional tie between him and his partner strengthens. Men are often taught to hide vulnerability, to stay strong and keep emotions in check. That's why finding someone who allows him to express himself freely is so powerful. When a woman listens with genuine curiosity and empathy, she creates a space where he feels accepted for his true self. That acceptance becomes a quiet reassurance that he doesn't have to pretend or perform. He starts to associate her presence with peace and comfort, and that emotional safety becomes irresistible. In those moments, love shifts from a feeling to a deep commitment because he knows he can be himself without fear of rejection. Trust also thrives on consistency. When words match actions, when promises are kept even in small matters, a man learns he can rely on his partner. This reliability is more than just showing up on time. It's about knowing she stands by her values, keeps confidences, and treats his heart with care. Misunderstandings may arise, but when they are handled with respect and open communication, trust grows even stronger. Each challenge overcome together builds a foundation that feels unshakable. Emotional connection is further strengthened through shared experiences. Late night conversations, moments of laughter, and even quiet silences create a rhythm of togetherness that makes him feel bonded beyond physical attraction. When she remembers the details of his day, celebrates his wins, or comforts him in moments of stress, he feels that his inner world matters. This kind of understanding doesn't just touch his heart, it stays with him, shaping how he views love and partnership. Over time, this deep trust allows him to dream openly, to plan a future together without hesitation. He feels secure enough to reveal not just who he is now, but who he hopes to become. That emotional intimacy becomes a powerful magnet that draws him closer every day. For a man, falling in love is not about dramatic gestures or perfect words. It's about the quiet confidence that the person beside him is both his safe place and his greatest supporter, someone with whom he can share his most authentic self. Men often discover the depth of their feelings when they sense that their efforts are noticed and appreciated, because appreciation speaks directly to a man's need to feel valued. While many men may appear confident and self-assured, they still carry an inner desire for recognition, not in a boastful way, but in a quiet need to know that what they do matters to someone they care about. When a woman acknowledges even the smallest gestures, whether it's holding the door, planning a thoughtful date, or simply checking in after a long day, it reassures him that his presence and contributions are meaningful. That acknowledgement is not about constant praise, but about noticing the everyday actions that reveal his care and commitment. Appreciation builds a powerful emotional bridge. A man may provide in ways that aren't always obvious, working long hours to create stability, taking on responsibilities silently, or offering support during challenging times without expecting applause. When these efforts are seen and valued, he feels respected for the role he plays in the relationship and in life. This respect encourages him to keep giving, not because he has to, but because he wants to. It creates a positive cycle where appreciation fuels affection, and affection motivates even more thoughtful actions. Simple expressions of gratitude, whether spoken or shown through kindness, have a lasting impact. A heartfelt thank you, a smile when he helps out, or a small gesture in return can lift his spirit and reinforce the bond between partners. These acts may seem small, but they carry a weight that tells him his hard work and love are not overlooked. Men often equate their actions with love, so when those actions are appreciated, it affirms their emotional connection and strengthens their sense of purpose in the relationship. Appreciation also encourages vulnerability. When a man feels that his efforts are acknowledged, he becomes more willing to share his feelings and open his heart. He no longer worries about whether his contributions are enough because he sees that his partner values the intention behind them. That kind of acceptance allows him to let go of defenses and show more of his true self. It's not about perfection or grand achievements. It's about knowing that what he brings, his time, his care, his unique way of showing love is important and cherished. Over time, this steady recognition transforms affection into a deeper, lasting love. He begins to associate his partner with warmth, encouragement, and mutual respect, creating a space where love thrives naturally. Appreciation reminds him that his love language is understood and reciprocated, and that realization keeps his heart invested. For many men, the journey from attraction to true love is paved with those quiet moments when they feel genuinely valued, making appreciation one of the most powerful forces in deepening a relationship and turning simple connection into lifelong devotion. Shared laughter and the ability to have fun together create a lasting bond that often draws a man deeper into love than almost anything else. While physical attraction and meaningful conversation have their place, the moments when two people genuinely laugh together build an intimacy that is both light and powerful. Laughter lowers defenses and opens the door to a kind of connection that feels effortless and natural. When a man finds someone who can make him smile after a stressful day, tease him playfully without judgment, or find humor in life's small challenges, he starts to associate that person with comfort and happiness. This emotional response isn't just about entertainment. It signals that being together makes the world feel brighter and less heavy. The ability to share fun experiences strengthens trust and deepens affection. Playful banter, spontaneous adventures, or even silly inside jokes create memories that become part of the relationship's foundation. These moments are like glue, keeping two people close when life inevitably brings challenges. For a man, knowing that he can relax, be goofy, and let his guard down without fear of ridicule is freeing. It tells him that he is accepted for who he is, beyond any roles or expectations. That sense of ease fosters a closeness that serious conversations alone can achieve. Humor also helps couples navigate difficulties. Every relationship faces obstacles, but laughter can diffuse tension and remind both partners that they are on the same team. A shared smile during an argument or a light-hearted comment when things feel heavy can break the cycle of stress and help them return to understanding each other. This resilience is attractive because it shows that the relationship has room for joy even in hard times. Men notice when someone can balance seriousness with lightness, and that balance makes the idea of a future together feel more sustainable and inviting. The chemistry of laughter even has a physiological effect, releasing endorphins that reinforce feelings of pleasure and connection. When a man experiences those natural highs in the presence of someone special, he begins to crave more of those shared moments. Over time, he associates that person with happiness itself, and that association becomes a powerful emotional anchor. Fun doesn't have to mean constant excitement or grand adventures. Sometimes it's found in simple activities like cooking together, taking a walk, or watching a favorite show while making each other laugh. The key is the sense of joy that comes from being fully present and playful together. For many men, the realization that love can feel easy and joyful is what makes them truly fall. Laughter and shared fun remind him that this person is not just a partner in serious matters, but also a companion in life's most joyful and spontaneous moments, making the relationship feel like a source of continual delight and emotional warmth. A man often falls most deeply in love when he feels supported in his dreams and encouraged to grow, because that kind of support goes beyond affection and becomes a partnership in the true sense. While attraction and shared interests may spark the beginning of a relationship, the knowledge that someone believes in his potential ignites something far more lasting. Men carry ambitions, whether they are big career goals, personal passions, or quiet aspirations they rarely speak about. When a woman shows genuine interest in those ambitions and offers encouragement without trying to reshape him, it communicates a powerful message. She sees not only who he is today, but also who he is capable of becoming. That belief feeds his confidence and builds a deep emotional bond. Support does not mean controlling or directing his path. Instead, it is about listening to his ideas, asking thoughtful questions, and offering encouragement that shows trust in his judgment. When she celebrates his small victories, stands beside him during setbacks, and reminds him of his strengths when doubts creep in, he feels that he has a partner who is invested in his success. This isn't about material help or grand gestures. It's about emotional presence, the quiet reassurance that he is not alone in his journey. Such moments create a sense of safety and mutual respect that allows love to flourish. This kind of support also inspires growth within the relationship itself. When a man knows he is free to chase his goals without fear of being held back or misunderstood, he naturally wants to reciprocate, encouraging his partner's dreams and nurturing her aspirations as well. Together, they create a dynamic where both can evolve individually and as a team. This mutual encouragement strengthens trust because each person sees that the other values their personal happiness and growth as much as their shared life. Challenges and setbacks are inevitable, and it is during those times that support shows its greatest power. A gentle word of belief, a reminder of his past achievements, or simply a steady presence during moments of doubt can lift his spirit more than any advice. Knowing that someone believes in him when he struggles reinforces the idea that love is not conditional on success or perfection. That unwavering faith builds a connection that is difficult to break. Over time, this steadfast support shapes how he views the relationship. He begins to see his partner not only as someone he loves, but as a true ally, a person who fuels his dreams and strengthens his resolve. He associates her presence with hope, motivation, and the courage to take risks. For many men, realizing that love can be a source of empowerment rather than limitation transforms affection into deep, lasting commitment. The understanding that someone stands beside him, cheering for his victories and steadying him through challenges, is a profound force that makes his love for her both passionate and enduring. Authenticity and confidence are two of the most magnetic qualities that draw a man into love because they create a connection that feels real, trustworthy, and lasting. A man might be intrigued by outward beauty or charm, but what keeps his attention and stirs his heart is the sense that he is with someone who is unapologetically herself. Authenticity means not pretending to be someone else, not playing roles to impress, and not hiding behind masks out of fear of judgment. When a woman is comfortable in her own skin, It gives him permission to be himself too, and that honesty lays the foundation for intimacy. There is something incredibly attractive about knowing that what you see is what you get, that there are no games or pretenses clouding the relationship. Confidence works hand in hand with authenticity. It is not about arrogance or dominance, but about carrying oneself with self-respect and assurance. A man is drawn to someone who knows her worth, who stands by her values, and who does not need constant validation to feel complete. This type of confidence creates an aura of strength and independence that makes love feel like a choice rather than a dependency. For men, falling in love with someone confident is inspiring because it shows them that they are not being asked to complete her life, but to share in it. This balance of independence and togetherness builds respect, and respect naturally deepens affection. When authenticity and confidence come together, they create an environment of trust. A man begins to open his heart more easily when he knows the person he loves is genuine, when words match actions, and when she is not afraid to express her true thoughts and feelings. That honesty helps prevent misunderstandings and reassures him that the love is based on truth, not illusion. It also makes communication smoother because there is no guessing or second guessing, just straightforward connection. Authenticity also allows vulnerability to shine. When someone is real, she is not afraid to admit when she is wrong, to share her fears, or to laugh at herself. This openness encourages him to lower his guard and show his own vulnerabilities without fear of rejection. That mutual openness creates a deeper bond than surface attraction ever could. Confidence adds another layer by fueling admiration. A man often falls more deeply when he sees a woman who pursues her passion, speaks with conviction, and carries herself with dignity. That strength doesn't intimidate him, rather, it inspires him to rise to her level, to grow, and to be the best version of himself. He begins to associate her presence with motivation and with the courage to face life challenges boldly. In time, this blend of authenticity and confidence transforms love into something unshakable. It is not about perfection, but about being real, strong, and true. A man falls when he realizes that the woman before him is genuine, grounded, and confident enough to love him honestly, and that realization creates a love that is both passionate and enduring.